We got to discuss the Colin Kaepernick situation. So he held his tryout.
Yep.
And
his workout,
I should say.
And there was a lot of things happening around the workout that are already causing controversy. He was supposed to work out for supposedly, again, I do everything in air quotes, 25 teams at the Atlanta Falcons facility. I believe the workout was supposed to be run by Hugh Jackson and Joe Philbin. And this is where things start to go haywire because the NFL says, and this is, guys, I'm just reading everything on the situation. I'm getting reports as they come in.
By the way, before you go into this, I just want to say, guys, these are things that a lot of people are not talking about that we feel is very important on our show to talk about. Like don't think this has nothing to do with like
whether he's good enough to play, whether he's not good enough to play.
Thank you. This has nothing to do with his skills on the field. There's a lot of – we're going to take the same approach of like the whole shady situation going on in Tampa as we are with this.
Let's just say this again. You know, every time we do this, I get into an argument with somebody about skills.
I don't even want to talk about that right now.
But like this is why I'm going to say this, and then we'll leave it alone. In arguing about everything that went on in this workout situation, we had a dirt ball come at me, and he actually, you can go and see it. And I wrote, I took a picture of it and I put it on there, and I even highlighted it because I wanted to make sure people saw he said it. He said, Brian Hoyer is better than Colin Kaepernick. So when it comes down to talking about whether or not Kaepernick is good enough to play in the league anymore, let's just agree on two things. One, morons are still out there arguing.
But I don't even
want the Petermans and the Hoyers and the whatever.
I don't even want to talk about that stuff.
But two, everybody agrees. The scouts that watched it, the scouts that watched on film, he has plenty of talent to be in the league. Let's just set that aside and talk about why the workout went down the way it went down.
Well, if you're going to go, let me just read a couple of the quotes. And these are not from shady people. These are from the two most respected NFL reporters, Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Adam Schefter tweets Saturday. This is after the workout. After today's workout in Atlanta, an NFL executive at Colin Kaepernick's throwing session said his arm talent is, in quotes, elite and is the same as when he came out of college. He said that Kaepernick threw the ball well. Again, this is Adam Schefter tweeting from an NFL executive. And then yesterday morning, Ian Rappaport tweeted a scouting report from evaluations following Colin Kaepernick's workout yesterday. And I'm just going to read these bullet points because I think, again, it's very important to just harp on his current abilities via NFL executives. It said there were 60 scripted throws, no runs, no agility work. He was in good shape, as we thought he'd be, and arm strength was definitely still there, and he had some real zip on the ball. But he had some accuracy issues on his deep balls. Good enough to be on a roster, likely backup level. So again, this is from Ian Rappaport. This is from an NFL scout. Good enough to be on a roster, likely backup level. He adds, he was in good shape, and he has a fast ball. The velocity was real good. Accuracy and touch were inconsistent. On deep balls, he was ordinary. He can still run well, essentially average overall. The last two bullet points, good velocity, accuracy and touch were average, good showing, thought he looked like he did when he was last on the field. So we have now two accounts, Joe, from both Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, from multiple NFL executives who are literally saying, this isn't coming from two guys on a couch in Venice Beach. This is coming from NFL executives, scouts. He is good enough to be on the field.
Right. And even when people want to point to things like average, at this point, when you look around the quarterback situation in the NFL, average will get it done, right? There's a lot of situations where you can say, these guys ain't playing average. The Broncos situation has not been average this year.
I agree.
The Miami situation has not been average this year.
Correct.
Hoyer has not been average. Mason Rudolph has not been average. These guys are not average. These guys are and by the way, if you want to argue the Hoyer and the Rudolphs and these guys, our backups, that's exactly the point. Put yourself in a position where if your quarterback gets hurt, you have another option. Put yourself in a position where if your quarterback is Jameis Winston, you have another option. Put yourself in a position where if your quarterback isn't playing well, Mitchell Trubisky, you have another option.
I am not saying Colin Kaepernick should be a starter right now in the NFL. He hasn't played in 3 years.
Right.
I don't think either of us are saying that.
No, but guess what? Mason Rudolph shouldn't be a starter in the NFL right now, but he is. Brian Hoyer shouldn't have been a starter in the NFL last weekend, but he is.
But
that's the NFL.
But what we are saying is that he was a backup. He is on par with a lot of these players, and that is being factually backed up by multiple NFL sources.
He's younger than a lot of these players. He has more historical success than a lot of these players. He's in better shape. He's got better arm strength. He's got better talent. He's faster. He's more athletic.
Now I'm going to hop in here, and before you say your piece, I'm going to say my piece, because I already know what the peanut gallery is saying right now as they listen to this. They're saying, but he brings media, and he brings that baggage, and nobody wants to deal with the drama. Guys, this is the reality. This is 2019. Every single player has Twitter, has Instagram, has, you name it, social media, right? Every single one of these guys are a tweet or an Instagram story.
Or being captured on the sideline saying something or something they do on the field.
Moment away from being baggage. That is the truth. And what's different is
Sam Darnold sees ghosts. Put it on the back page of both the New York papers and ask him about it for 3 consecutive weeks.
Exactly. So what's different is, that's why it's very disconcerting when I hear this from young people. Like when boomers say it, I get it, because boomers aren't on social media. But when I see young people, like this dirtball we're arguing with, saying he brings too much baggage. Guys, these are young players who grew up with social media. They're used to it. They're used to the questions. They're used to being in front of the camera because we all do it. We're all on Instagram. We're all on Twitter. We're all on Snapchat. That's my point.
There was an entire HBO series devoted to the baggage that Antonio Brown brought to the Oakland Raiders this year. He got cut, and he immediately got signed by the Patriots.
Immediately.
Patriots, the no baggage team. They're like, we don't give a shit. You're here to play. We're on to fucking Buffalo.
So
Tim
again,
Tebow, 4 times signed. The definition of mediocre quarterback, massive media circus follow him everywhere.
Yeah.
There is now a massive media circus that follows Tim Tebow through AA at bats.
So this argument.
Massive media circus. Signed 4 times. 4.
So this argument, I'm not going to have it because it's just not true. This argument of he would bring too much baggage, and I will double down on that. He won, what was the name of the award? You probably don't know the name of the award.
No.
The last time he played for the 49ers, he won a very heralded team award. Again, this is coming from his players, guys. From his teammates. I'm actually going to bring it up because it's important for this. Because I'm sick of people saying, oh, he is this and he's that. And this is what he won. The last time he played in the 49ers, Colin Kaepernick won the, what is it called? So he won this award called, he was the winner of the team's Len Ashmont Award, which was voted on by his teammates for the player on the team, Joe, who best exemplifies the inspirational and courageous play of Len Ashmont, a former 49ers player. Guys, he won this award his last year on the team. And on record, Joe Staley, O-lineman for the 49ers, again, this is the last year Colin Kaepernick played, says, I feel the locker room is really close. I don't feel that any of that division people from the outside are saying at all. I wouldn't need to tell you if there was. I think any kind of division like that is pretty evident. I don't think that's going on at all. So you have one of Kaepernick's own teammates.
But every argument about it, oh, look at his record that last year. Okay. Blaine Gabbert's still in the league. Blaine Gabbert, who was the starting quarterback for a variety of reasons. One, Colin Kaepernick was hurt during the preseason. Two, Chip Kelly, who's since out of the NFL for being an abomination of a head football coach, chose Gabbert over him. Gabbert got benched. Kaepernick took over and played 11 games that season, started the final 10. Blaine Gabbert's still in the league. So if you're going to talk about team success and how bad he was, there's 16 games. Chip Kelly, racist as he may be, turned the team over to Colin Kaepernick for 11 of the 16 games. Blaine Gabbert's still in the league. Colin Kaepernick isn't. Blaine Gabbert didn't play in a Super Bowl. Blaine Gabbert didn't play in an NFC Championship game. Blaine Gabbert is still in the league. The idea that he shouldn't be in the league is ridiculous.
So I just want to get all this stuff out there because, guys, these are the facts. So
you know what's a media circus? Chicago right now because of their quarterback situation. They took out Trubisky for a quote-unquote hip injury last night. Twitter exploded with him being benched.
And that just I'm glad you brought that up. That just reinforces my point, guys. This idea of a media circus, this isn't 1988. Everyone's on Twitter during the games. Look at the top 10 trends during games, during NFL Sunday, during Monday Night Football. It's football dominated. All right? So let's just remove this media circus. We're all our own media circuses because we're contributing to this on our iPhones. So enough of that. I don't want to hear that because that's just not an argument. It boils down to this, and then we're going to get to the legal matter because there's an interesting legal situation that occurred here. It boils down to this for me. The NFL executives, the owners, whoever it is, doesn't want to admit that they're wrong or doesn't even want to take a chance, which is foolish to me. Colin Kaepernick might suck. I'm going to go on record saying that. He might suck if he played. But we don't know, and that's my problem. We don't know. That'll never be answered because no one is willing to just say, hey, I got a bad situation going on with my team right now at quarterback. I'm going to take a chance. We don't know. So stop saying he sucks or he did suck. We don't know. We don't know how he's going to play. But you know what we do know? We do know Brian Hoyer laid a complete egg, which was a very costly loss for the Colts. We do know the Tampa Bay Bucks literally do not have a current backup situation. We do know the Bengals went from we do know the Bengals went from Andy Dalton to Ryan Finley. These are things we do know. So stop saying that he would suck if he was in. And take a chance. And that's where guys like Joe and me, I'm very annoyed by the situation at this point because you literally have execs, which I just read, saying he's average. He has the ability.
Well, but also let's not, like, when we talk about this, we have to talk about everything. Colin Kaepernick sued the NFL for collusion. A judge looked at his case, said it was valid, said that they were going to go to trial over it. A judge looked at his case, said he had a case for collusion. If a team has ever offered Colin Kaepernick a contract of any kind and he turned it down, you have no collusion case. The league cannot collude against you if they made you an offer and you didn't accept it. The only reason Colin Kaepernick has a collusion case that a judge agreed to that the NFL ended up settling is because he has not had an offer. So if you believe it, there's a lot of fake news. I hate to use that phrase for all of the fucking MAGA supporters out there. A lot of fake news surrounding this situation. He was never offered a job with the Broncos. He never turned down a backup role because he said he wanted to be a starter. If he did, he has no collusion case.
Yeah.
And the NFL settled his collusion case, and then the NFL did something in this tryout, which on multiple levels was fucked up. One, who calls somebody and says you have 2 days to show up in Atlanta for a tryout? And yes or no? That's like, that would never happen to you anywhere ever. Think about your job. Think about if you're a lawyer or an engineer or whatever, and somebody goes, here's the deal. You have to move to Atlanta for this job. You have to be there in 2 days. Take it or leave it. You'll sign a contract when you get there. We won't show you the contract in advance. You're like, do I get housing? Dude, you got 2 days. And you have 2 days to get there. You have 2 hours to sign it. 2 hours. What am I signing?
Guys, it's unprecedented. I'm glad that Joe brings that up. It really is. This is unheard of. Think of any profession. Even I'm glad you brought that up. Me as a teacher. How I got hired before I signed the contract was that the principal in Las Vegas, who I'd never even been to Las Vegas, right, Joe? He calls me in St. Louis. I graduated about 2 months earlier, and he basically says, we're pretty much interested in hiring you. Can you imagine if I had never been to Las Vegas? And he said, you have
2 hours.
2 hours to sign this contract. But what happened was I flew out there. I visited my school. I got acquainted with the city. He gave me a contract offer. And there was no timetable. It was sign it if you want to become a teacher. Don't sign it, obviously, if you don't. But I was never given this odd
but
ultimatum.
the other thing is, everything about 2 hours in Atlanta closing, it's fishy.
It doesn't add
right?
up.
So then all Colin Kaepernick did is he showed up and he said, hey, I want transparency in this. This is fishy. I feel like you guys are trying to run this private workout. Say I sucked. Say 25 teams had the chance of signing me. No one's interested. That's that. That settled it. From now on, every time Brian Hoyer starts, no one tweets about me anymore. From now on, every time Tom Savage starts or Brandon Wheaton gets signed, no one tweets about me anymore. This seems like it's a complete dog and pony show. How about this? How about I just also film it myself, and I show people my arm is still elite. I show people I can still run. I show people that I'm still in shape. How about that? Absolutely not. If you do that, you're out. And he's like, what? What? Why would they have any problem with that? Why would they?
Yeah. It doesn't add up.
And then we get into the legal thing, which is really being swept under the rug by the majority of the media. This waiver form that he was asked to sign upon arrival. I've read multiple articles on it. The tweet that you have pulled up that I sent you is from a guy who was like one of the biggest lawyers in fucking Georgia. He's now in Florida. He's a gaming law and sports betting attorney founder.
His name's Daniel Wallach. Or I'm sorry, Wallach.
So
he just hold on. Let me just give this guy's credentials. His name's Daniel Wallach. He tweeted this out. He's a gaming lawyer and sports betting attorney. He is also a legal analyst for The Athletic. So this guy's legit.
So what I've read on this so far is whenever any quarterback, let's say you are Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals have the number 1 overall pick. Arizona wants you to come in. They want you to work out for them in Arizona. You sign a injury waiver that says if I tear my ACL during a non-contact throwing drill,
they're not liable.
They're not liable. They don't owe you anything.
Which makes sense.
Of course it does. They presented him with a second waiver that was so broad. And again, it has multiple things in here that you can't ever have a claim against the NFL for anything ever.
So basically, yeah. So this thing that Daniel Wallach tweeted out, again, as a lawyer.
Well, read his tweet that went along with it first. He says,
Sunday edition of Commercial Law 101. If you're Colin Kaepernick, again, this guy doesn't work for Colin Kaepernick.
He's also a white guy from the South. Just keep that in mind.
Like, he says, Sunday edition of Commercial Law 101. If you're Colin Kaepernick, under no circumstances do you sign this release, which could operate as a backdoor waiver of any future collusion claims. Read paragraphs 2 and 7 together, and you'll see the problem.
This is paragraph 7.
So this is paragraph 2. Let's start with paragraph 2.
Player acknowledges that he has been made no promise of employment and understands that his participation in the workout does not constitute employment by any of the released parties as defined herein, but desires to participate in the workout voluntarily in order to be considered for possible future employment. Player further acknowledges that his participation in the workout does not guarantee that the player will be offered employment by any of the released parties at any time.
So I want to break this down.
Reasonable.
Because it's also the NFL protecting themselves. Right? By saying, yo, dude, if you're not signed, like, you sign this, so we're not guaranteeing you employment.
Of course.
That's all it's saying.
Right. And it's this in conjunction with the paragraph 7 that he pulls that makes it ridiculous. And I'm going to skip down because you shouldn't have to read all this. The owner, operators, and managers of the facility, any and all individuals participating in or present at the workout, including without limitation Joe Philbin, National Football League, each of its 32 NFL member clubs, each of the foregoing parties' respective direct and indirect affiliates, partners, subsidiaries, agents, representatives, employees, shareholders, officers, directors, attorneys, insurers, successors, and assigns from and against any and all claims, demands, actions, causes of actions, suits, grievances, costs, losses, expenses, damages, injuries, illnesses, and losses, including death, caused by or arising out of, occurring during, or related directly or indirectly to the workout, players' presence at the facility, and any medical treatment or services rendered in connection with or necessitated by players' participation in the workout. It's so broad, like this guy says. You're saying anything having to do with injury. You can never have a claim, demand, action, cause of action, suit, or grievance against the NFL if you sign this. Ever. Again, regarding this workout, any workout, anything. You can never have another claim against the NFL if you sign this.
So let me break it down
It says this workout or not this workout.
Yeah, so let me break it. Yeah. And obviously this is some hardcore
Andy,
legal jargon.
Andy, you can come on this roller coaster, but we know you've had a traumatic brain injury. Okay? So, just FYI, you have to sign this that says anything that happens to you on this roller coaster, we're not liable for. Also, it says anywhere ever for the rest of your life. Like, what?
So basically, the argument, it's not really an argument. What the NFL was trying to do, and I'm so glad that this lawyer, Daniel Wallach, showed this, was the NFL was trying to get Colin Kaepernick to sign this to basically make the league exempt forever from any sort of legal repercussions from Kaepernick or his camp. So then the argument could be made that this entire quote-unquote dog and pony show that the NFL offered to put on was actually just trying to get him to sign these forms, which then would make them free of any sort of legal ramifications. That's why this whole shit is wild, guys. It's not even about can he play. It's almost like this conspiracy now. It's not even a conspiracy. This truth is that the NFL was up to some shady shit. And luckily, Kaepernick has a good enough legal team and people behind him to see this.
And then he went out and did the workout anyway on his own.
And let people film it.
Let people stream it. Let people film it. Let people stream it. And now people go, he doesn't want to play. Let me ask you, Andy, because you were talking about this before. You're like, I'm not sure whether or not he wants to play. What's the end game here?
I don't know.
What's the end game for made a bunch of money from Nike, made a bunch of money in a settlement, certainly got a ton of press, certainly his foundation and his causes, selling the black jersey with the 7 on it. He's done everything. Anything that Colin Kaepernick does the rest of his life is going to be well covered. This idea that this workout is for him to stay in the media. Dude, the guy can't take a shit without people saying he takes a shit better than Brian Hoyer. Okay? So, what is the end game for going through a dog and pony show workout if you don't want to play?
Well, all I said was this.
But that's what everybody's saying. He doesn't want to play.
Hold on, I didn't say
Smith
that.
Said
I know,
that.
I didn't say that. What I said to you before the show was, none of us know but Colin Kaepernick. And I believe that. I don't know if Colin Kaepernick really wants to play, but I also don't know if he doesn't want to play. So I don't like when I see the Stephen A. Smiths or whoever say he doesn't want to play. They don't know. None of us know. I'm going to stick to that. None of us know if he really wants to play or if this is some sort of weird PR stunt. But then again, the NFL is also doing a weird PR stunt. I don't know. But I do know this. From what I've read, from what we've just exposed, there was definitely shady stuff going on with the NFL wanting him to sign something. There was definitely a guy who did a workout and should be in the NFL. From a talent standpoint, it was just proven via all these scouts, these tweets from NFL insiders, he does have the ability to play. That is undeniable. This whole notion that he's a media circus, I've also, in my opinion, debunked. Because he's not. Because everybody's a media circus.
Also, important to once again repeat, never been offered a contract. If he does, he wouldn't have had a collusion case. If he didn't have a collusion case that he could win, the NFL wouldn't have settled. You're going, corporations settle things all the time. They took Tom Brady through multiple levels of the court system. Tom Brady gave up. Tom Brady was on the verge of going to the Supreme Court to fight his Deflategate case. The NFL says, our lawyers are going all the way, buddy. You want to go? Go for it. Tom Brady gave up. The idea, and by the way, the reason Tom Brady gave up and the NFL gave up before one single round of trial, the NFL knew it had the text messages to the equipment guys. The NFL knew it had suspicious shit that Tom Brady, and they go, we don't need all the evidence. We just need a little bit of evidence. We can suspend you. You can't do shit because we have a little bit of evidence saying you did wrong. The reason they gave up on Colin Kaepernick, they were going to lose, and they didn't want the facts to come out. Facts. These are facts. And it's just, and to me, it's gross and sort of despicable that people pick and choose what to hear. Stephen A. Smith picking and choosing aspects of this to report on and not report on is gross.
And it is. And
people out there that want to believe. I'm look at my latest mention.
You should ignore those people.
Trump train 24/7. Cap doesn't want to play. I just wrote, okay, Trumper. As if he would ever have accepted a low-paying contract or spot as a backup. If he had been offered one, he's got no collusion case.
Let's stop with the assumptions. Let's just stop with them.
And also, if you think Brian Hoyer is better than Colin Kaepernick, kill yourself. Just throw that one in there, too.
But that's why I just said, let's stop assuming that he doesn't want to play. Let's stop assuming that he does want to play. We don't know until he's given that chance. And that's the last piece I'm going to say, guys. It really is. We don't know. Because you're not giving somebody an opportunity who is clearly qualified. And those are the facts. At the
now,
end of the
Andy,
day.
let me ask you something. Last night, we were going to go live for the Bears-Rams game. And YouTube failed. Why didn't you just go out on the street and call the Bears-Rams game for the people?
What do you mean?
This is what people are literally saying from Colin. Why don't you go play? Why don't you go play in the Flag Football League and show people what you can do? Why don't you go play in the Canadian Football League and see what you can do? Why don't you just go run around? Why don't you just go fucking do that thing? Oh, you want to play so bad? Go play. You wanted to call that game. You weren't willing to stand out on a soapbox with a megaphone and yell about medium pizza to the homeless people of Venice Beach because that's a disgrace. You are used to a certain level, and so you fucking didn't happen. You found another way to get it out, broadcast on it. You're not just like, hey, let me just go talk about it. If you want to come over to my house, here's my address. You can come watch me work out the medium pizza bowl. It's like, and again, I go back to it again and again and again and again, Andy, and then we'll wrap this up. If every twist and turn for your argument, he got a contract. No, he didn't. He isn't good enough. Yes, he is. The NFL gave him an opportunity. Well, it was a fucking scam. If you keep trying every door in this place to see which one is unlocked, look inside and ask, what is it about you and what you think about Colin Kaepernick as a person that you just think he should absolutely not get an opportunity, even though guys that beat their wife get an opportunity, even though guys that swing their fucking helmets at people get an opportunity, even though guys that killed people as a drunk driver get an opportunity, guys who have been accused and found guilty of cheating get an opportunity. What is it about you that says this man who says black people should not get shot by cops doesn't deserve it? That's on you. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is it about you?
People don't want to be wrong, man.
I don't think that's what it is, Andy.
I think that's a huge part of it. It is. And you and I are also guilty of that, Joe. Come on, man. We are. As humans, we're all guilty.
Who's wrong here about what? When did somebody get proven wrong?
But that's my point, is that he doesn't – people, I think, don't want to give him the chance because they could be proven wrong.
Wrong that what?
That he has the ability to play.
But here's the thing. This is the thing. At no point did he ever look in the league that he didn't belong in some role. And if you believe that, again, look in the mirror and say, why am I watching trash quarterback play week in and week out, but I insist that Colin Kaepernick can't get it done? If you have convinced yourself, I watched Colin Kaepernick's last season, he does not have the ability to play in the NFL. I watched Tom Savage, he does. I watched Mike Glennon, he does. I watched Brandon Weeden, he does. You're seeing something that isn't real. Why are you seeing it?
Well, I think there's a lot of biases that goes on in the human mind, and I think we all have them. And I think, this whole issue of Colin Kaepernick has highlighted that, because we're mixing socio-political issues that are, in a way, polarizing people, and people get lost in all the bullshit, and they're not seeing something for what it is. And to me, this is what it is. Can someone play the game of football at the highest level in the National Football League? Can someone potentially help a team win? Can someone be a backup? And to me, that's all it is at the end of the day. And to not be given a chance and to not be given an opportunity, I think is bullshit. And there's a lot of factors in play here. And obviously, we've broken them all down. But at the end of the day, he has the ability. Why not give the guy a chance? And again, he might lay an egg, but we'll never know because nothing has been solved. The NFL's dog and pony show solved nothing. This last week, ultimately, has not solved anything. So here we are, back at the same point from 4 years ago. And that's not moving on. Like, that's not progressing. And it's the same bullshit. And it's sad. It's just sad. The whole situation, at the end of the day, to me, is sad.
Anyways.